salty dogs.
So Fergus, you've been doing this all your life?
Pretty much, yeah.
How long has this boat been in the family?
Well, my father bought it in 1968 as a fishing boat that time, though there was no sail on it. So he fished her then until the 1980s. They put sail back on her then again for the regattas, just on the weekends.
Oh!
See this? Too much to...
Yeah, it was just really close to the water there.
It does, yeah. It gets like that.
Yes, that's all part of it, isn't it?
This gets heavy. If you want to feel the pressure on that now yourself, you can feel free to do it anytime. You can put your back to this to help me.
Oh my
You know what I
gosh,
mean?
yeah.
Fergus has decided that he needs to take control.
Oh, you're actually moving.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I was going to help you on this side.
No.
Right, oh no.
Galway hookers were fishing vessels. They also carried cargo like turf and seaweed. The rudder is heavy and pushes back against me, and the wind and spray from the ocean make it feel fast and a little dangerous.
You're not doing bad now. Seems like you've done this before.
So can be nice, Fergus.
Now we're approaching St. Macdara's Island. St. Macdara is the patron saint of fishermen and sailors in the area.
Every 16th of July, we have mass here. It's Macdara Day, they call it. So we have mass here on the island, and then the regatta, we race them around the island a couple of times.
It's a little marker every time you sail past it, I guess.
It is, yeah, and there's a tradition that we drop a sailing boat will drop her head sail 3 times, dip it 3 times, just as a mark of respect for Macdara, you know?
There are less than 100 of these boats left, but Josie remembers when the black boats and their red sails were a more common sight.
Josie, you're not wearing this cap for any other reason other than you own these seas, don't you?
Exactly.
How long have you been sailing for?
Well, I suppose I started sailing with my father when I was about, you could say, 8 or 9 or 10 years. He had a smaller version of this boat we're on now, back in the early 50s.
And what is it about the hooker that you love so much?
On a nice breeze like today now, it's calm, it's relaxing.
This is a nice relaxing bit though, everyone else is doing the work at the minute, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
This is when
absolutely.
we're on our way in the homeward bound, there's a cup of tea
Absolutely,
ahead of
Well, a bit wet and wind-beaten, I leave my shipmates and take to the road again. What's really unique about the Wild Atlantic Way route is the diversity of landscapes you pass through along the way. And I'm visiting the famously rocky terrain in County Clare called the Burren.
When you think of Ireland, you tend to think of miles and miles of green fields, but of course, it's not all like that. And I'm heading now to more rocky terrain whose appearance has been massively affected by rainfall over millions and millions of years.
I've come to meet John Connolly. Part of his farm is set amidst the vast grey vista of the Burren, Irish for rocky place. The Burren covers almost 100 square miles of countryside in County Clare. It often appears grey, barren and lifeless, but farmers have been making a living here for hundreds of years, adapting to the unique conditions. It's an ecological wonderland. Arctic, Mediterranean and alpine plants all thrive in the gaps between the rocks called breaks.
Gorgeous as it all is around here, on a day like this certainly, there's a bit of mist. It feels quite desolate.
It does, yeah, but the exciting thing is once we go a little bit up into the mountains, you'll see how much colour and life there is that from a distance you can never expect. And that's probably one of the more beautiful things about the Burren. We'll just go this way here.
This way, okay.
It's a really special place. Even on a foggy day, like today.
It kind of makes you feel like you're the only person in the world here, doesn't it?
It's true, yeah. You kind of expect the Celts to walk out.
Just little spots of colour all over the place here though, isn't there?
For example, if you look here, this beautiful plant here is called Devil's Bit scabious. And so beside it, you'll find the heather, the ling heather. And then probably one of everybody's favourite plants is this, which is the juniper. You probably know what the berries on juniper help to make.
Yes, gin, isn't it?
Yeah, gin, yes. Yeah.
But it's like little pops of colour, isn't it, in amongst sort of the greyness, certainly of the day?
Yeah, exactly. And once we continue on up into the rock, you'll see that you have this grey rock that's punctuated with this beautiful bright colours.
Yeah.
And that's one of the more beautiful things about the Burren, that from a distance, it appears so barren. But once you go up there, it's really alive with colour.
Okay.
And we'll see that when we go.
Great. There's lots of pictures over there.
There is, yeah.
So this is the start.
This is the start of
Yeah.
excitement. Christine, look at the juniper. It looks fantastic. So if we pick a berry and take a moment to squeeze it.
Oh, they're tough little things.
There.
Oh yeah, it just smells like gin. A little bit of pine leaves mixed in as well, obviously.
Yeah, no, it is really beautiful. And that's a great thing about the Burren is to come up and to not only see the beautiful colour in amongst the grey rock, but also take a moment to smell and to taste. And I think that's it's a nice way to become more interconnected with the landscape.
Yes.
We'll go now a little bit higher and we'll explore the rock and you can see all the action and life that's up there.
Okay, perfect.
Pretty soon, as is often the way in Ireland, it's time for a cup of tea.
What is this contraption, John? I've never seen the like of it.
This is fantastic kettle cuisine. It's called a volcano or Kelly kettle. So it's hollow all the way through the centre and the water goes around it. So we're going to light a fire. We picked some heather, dried heather. And so we're going to light a fire now. We'll have a quick cup of tea and we'll enjoy our beautiful surroundings.
Okay. Where do these come from?
These are originally from Mayo and originally called a Kelly kettle. I'd call it a volcano kettle. So now you can see we've got the fire going with our heather and we're going to put our water in here so it boils really quickly. So it's about as fast as your electric kettle back home.
That is incredible. So what do we know about the burn? What is it? What is it made of?
It extends for about 250 square kilometres. It's the west of Ireland's only UNESCO geopark and 96% of it is privately owned. So all the mountains are all owned by farming families. And there's a very deep-rooted farming tradition here. So this is the only place in Europe that in the wintertime, all of the farmers will move their animals from the lowlands up into the mountains.
The cattle come up to these high places for the winter and feast on the rich plant life that's been growing all year. The people here have adapted the way they farm to their unique environment and changeable weather, and that's something I know all about.
Doesn't get more traditional than that, does it? Very, very traditional Irish weather. Oh well, this will keep us warm.
Soon the weather lifts and I'm off on my bike again. I'm visiting the Keshcorin Caves in County Sligo, which are set at the bottom of limestone cliffs on the west side of Keshcorin Mountain. It's a short but arduous climb, 2/3 of the way up a 1,000-foot mountain. This strange site in a remote location became an important venue for religious events and inspired legends.
That is quite a walk. Oh, this is Keshcorin, and there are 17 caves along the foot of this limestone cliff. Legend has it that Cormac MacArt, the King of Ireland, was born and raised here by a she-wolf, nonetheless. Now, they're quite dark, they're very foreboding-looking caves, but I mightn't hang about in there too long.
Excavations have found bones of bears, goats, reindeer and elk in the darkness. Animals lived here, but we're not sure if humans ever did. The site was often used for ritual purposes, so it may have been taboo to set up home here.
This is fairly eerie. There's water dripping down from the ceilings here as well. It's very cold, very dark. Exactly what you'd expect, I guess. Slightly mucky and messy here, but
above me is porous limestone. Over thousands of years, rainwater has continuously seeped through the rock to form these caves.
wow, look at that. It's like the most incredible natural sort of corridor, and it looks like it goes the whole way through and verges off to the left. That's just amazing. Whoa, this seems to go on and on forever. Mind you, it's getting slightly more narrow and even darker. And the potential for creepy crawlies is increasing. Oh, slightly slippy. Oh my goodness. There are huge spiders in here. Oh no, I don't like this. It's no surprise that people have never, ever lived here. At the minute though, I think it's these massive spiders that have managed to take over, which is a big enough reason for me to get out of here immediately and leave them to it. Ugh.
I make my escape out of the darkness and head towards the vast, stunning cliffs of Moher. I'm journeying along the full length of Ireland's Wild Atlantic Way route to explore the diversity of a unique coastline carved by the Atlantic Ocean.
This whole area is a UNESCO geopark, which means it's internationally recognised for its important geological heritage. And I'm going to take you to a world-famous spot that we just have to visit.
These are the Cliffs of Moher. At 5 miles long and 702 feet tall, they are quite a sight to see. Paula Hawes works at the cliffs and knows all about the geology.
Well, Paula, this is as dramatic as it can be. It's stunning up here. I can understand why so many people want to come and visit here every single year. When you focus in on the cliffs there, you can see the various layers which obviously tell a story throughout the geological history of the cliffs. It's almost like a book, so if you take a single layer, it would give you an indication of what geological force was happening at that point in time. This whole landscape was once under sea. Over 300 million years ago, rivers would have flown over the landscape, and this river, in its lower course, would have deposited and dumped sands and silts, which would have entered a very warm, shallow, tropical sea here, not the Atlantic Ocean. And these sands and silts would have built up and formed over millions of years, eventually the Cliffs of Moher as you see them today.
What sort of evidence do we have then of what life would have been like here all of these millions of years ago?
So the fossils that you would see here are actually the tracks of worms that would have traced their way through silts and sands at the bottom of a delta.
And is it that? I thought I've just blocked that as well on our thing.
Those squiggles are actually unicellular animals that would have lived millions of years ago in this region. And over time they were compressed and compacted upon and formed this sedimentary limestone rock.
And you talk about this ever-changing landscape, and that is what, I mean, you're being battered by the Atlantic Ocean, obviously.
The forces of the water itself, they will combine to erode and gnarl away at the rock and give us these really distinct features such as stacks and sea caves in great numbers. So walking along here, you will see every type of sea erosion feature. And I suppose the fact that you can walk right along the ocean, there's uninterrupted views for 8 kilometres, you can really get a little bit of peace and tranquility for yourself with Mother Nature.
That is part of the attraction, isn't it, for so many people that want to come visit here. Lots of tourists would never have seen a dramatic coastline like this. You can walk for 5 miles along the cliff edge here, and it is amazing to think that these cliffs are older than the ocean that crashes into them. But my final destination today is all the way over there. It's a group of 3 islands known as the Aran Islands. Now, they are completely secluded from the mainland. They are constantly battered by the Atlantic Ocean. But they're just some of the reasons, I think, why both the people and the landscape there have their own unique, rugged beauty. And we're going to be heading to Inishmore, which is simply the Big Island. I'm taking the ferry out to the Aran Islands, where I've arranged to meet Tomas, who's going to bring me on a unique pony and trap tour of Inishmore. His family have been islanders for generations.
So Tomas, you were born and raised here.
Yeah, but 7, if not 8 generations of our family here on the island.
And what was it like to grow up here?
It's really nice. It's really nice. There's a lot to do. It's a great place to bring up kids and stuff.
For a small island, the first thing you notice is an abundance of stone walls.
The island's about 9 miles long by 3 miles wide, and they tell us there's over 7,000 miles of these stone walls.
Really? 7,000 miles?
7,000 miles, yeah.
These walls were first built by Stone Age families. They separate individual farms and provide shelter for crops and animals from driving wind and rain.
And what is the heritage of the island? I mean, what do we know of the history as well?
Fort that we're heading over to now on the west side here, it's called Dún Aengus, and that one's over 3,500 years old.
On the way to the dramatic cliffs at Dún Aengus, Tomas wants to show me a spectacular local attraction known as the Wormhole. It's a naturally occurring rectangular pool at the bottom of the cliffs.
And this is it?
This is the wormhole here now for you.
Others call it the Serpent's Lair, and legend has it that a sea monster lives here. No sightings today, though.
It's absolutely extraordinary. This is completely natural. So the sea is coming in underneath the rock here.
Yeah.
So is there's almost like a little private tunnel out onto
That's right. There's a tunnel. You can dive outside and just go underneath and come in. Some guys do scuba diving, and you can see the lobsters swimming around there and the crayfish and stuff.
Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. I've never ever seen anything like that.
Yeah.
How deep is it?
Even at low tide, there's still 7.5 meters there.
It's got that welcoming, drawing nature, isn't it? You kind of feel like you just want to go diving in.
That's right, yeah.
It's so specific here as well, isn't it? You can see the layers in quite detailed form. It's like a different planet, isn't it? It's like we've gone to the moon or something here.
A lot of people that bring up here and they say the same thing exactly. They say, looks like I'm at the moon here. Another planet, you know? It is another planet, another person inside.
Absolutely, it is. That's what makes it so incredibly unique, I think, yeah.
Leaving Tom